Everybody close their eyes. Ready? And we got to do the clapping one. So we all have to try to guess everybody the time.
Oh, we're not counting like a 1, 2, 3.
No, it's like, so we all close our eyes and we all have to like
Envision everybody
and
clapping
try
at the
to
same
and try to get it all at the same time. Okay, ready? Hold on. Okay. I'm putting down the mic and ready, go. We all have to like, you have to wait for a second. So like wait. And then we all have to try to get it at the same time.
Okay.
All right, ready? I'm gonna put down the mic, so give it a sec.
So wait, hold on.
So on 3,
You're
wait.
gonna say go and then
No.
not expect me to go.
No, so okay, so when I say go, I'm dropping the mic and I'm putting my hands out now. Okay? And then we all try to at the same time. It could be at any time. So like 5 seconds in, 10 seconds in, we all
This
have
is
to try
all
to
just
figure
sync
out
the audio.
we all have to figure out when we're all gonna clap. Does that make sense?
Just stressing Jace the fuck out.
Go. Ready? Close your eyes.
Oh, see,
That was close.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Oh shit.
Everybody, welcome back to the Average Employee Podcast. I'm your host, Al,
I'm Jace.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Justin.
and it's time to clock in.
Clock
Whole
in,
crew's
everybody.
back.
Hey, everybody.
A nice little couch here, too.
Yeah. Little update. Justin got a new couch, and the old couch is in here.
in the
Podcast
garage.
couch.
It's now the pod couch.
Yeah.
Casting couch.
Are you going to keep this couch?
No, it's gonna go back to my parents eventually.
Okay, so probably just for this episode.
No, I don't
Not
know
the
when.
pod
It's whenever
couch.
my dad comes pick it up.
Not the
So
casting
he
couch.
comes pick it up now.
no, won't happen. Might be a while, so it'll
Yeah.
probably
My
be here
hands
for a
hurt.
while.
That was a solid clap.
Yeah.
I
was a
feel
really
it
good one.
still. My hands are red.
Mine don't hurt because I was very hesitant.
My thing was you can't say go and expect me not to want to go
No, it
immediately.
wasn't like okay, go.
That's not
what it
was.
But that's how it feels mentally. In my head, it's
time to go.
time to go.
It's time
I
to
think
clap.
we were pretty synced, though.
It was pretty good.
Should we
Yeah.
do one more time?
No.
No.
Okay.
Let's not ruin a good thing.
I'm gonna start sweating if we have to do it again.
I'm already sweating.
It is pretty warm today. All of a sudden, because yesterday it was like raining.
It was like gloomy, rainy.
Yeah. And then now today it's like pretty warm.
Is it spring? Spring now, right?
Why you sound so angry about it? It's spring now.
It's supposed to be warm,
It is though, right?
Yeah.
and it's not warm at all.
Well, that's the Bay Area, though.
I mean, who decided like spring was a thing? You know what I mean?
Over here is also closer to the bay, so it's going to be a little bit more windier
Mm-hmm.
than in like Union City or Hayward or anything like that. Too.
Here in Newark specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're closer to the
Yeah, I'm
water.
literally close, like right here to the water.
Yeah.
So
We'll
it's
drop the
going to
address
be
right here.
yeah, address here.
Come visit us.
Yeah. Come say hello. Leave gifts. So what you guys been up to?
Gaming. The new Star Wars game came out.
You're always gaming.
I destroyed it.
I'm a little jealous of the gaming schedule that you can keep now.
It's temporary.
I know.
I am getting way too used to it, though, so I need to fucking do something soon.
You're on your
you should just
second
start
playthrough?
streaming again.
Yeah, I'm
Why are you
already on
doing
my
it?
second playthrough.
You should start streaming
Oh,
again.
the game
on
came
that.
out last week.
I know.
Yeah, well,
Start streaming.
I'm on the second playthrough, and I'm almost done with it already.
Yeah, you should actually.
I have been. I sit there and I start the game. I'm like, it takes one button to just start the stream.
Yeah.
So I'm on the PS5 and
Might
literally
as
just
well.
like one button. Yeah, I should.
What stops you from hitting that button?
The wanting to play.
Well, you can still play.
No, you know, I think I just got to break past the point of understanding that you don't start with 1,000 viewers, you know? You might have 1 or 2 viewers for 2 years, but you just got to start. And I just haven't, you know, I game all the time, and it's not that I'm a good gamer. You know what I mean? You'll be highly entertained because I can at least, you know, get through these puzzles pretty quickly or, you know, take these fights or whatever it is. It'd be fun. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe I will.
So like for me, if I was to give you advice, so like things that I look up on like YouTube or want to watch a stream or something, it's a one, not just completely somebody just playing all the time, more of like specific things, which I think is like pretty cool. Like, oh fuck, I can't beat this fight. I'm gonna kind of look up a battle for it, and then if you were to like post it on like YouTube or something like that, you're like, oh, boss battle for chapter 20 or something,
seen
and
that.
then everybody
One
will
of
come up and
22.
look on it, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should do like playthrough videos.
Yeah.
And I've seen like, oh, here's a quick tutorial on like combat tips, and I've seen the video and I'm like, this nigga ass.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Or-
You're telling me how to play. I'm gonna comment here and tell you how to play here. I don't do that, of course.
Sometimes you get so good at a game, and then you watch other people play, you're like,
They
this,
suck.
this is not the person to be giving tips to this game. You should stream Deceive Inc. too.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
solid at that game.
The game is so much fun, and I finally found like a streamer that is dedicated to Deceive, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I mean, it just comes with starting it, and having no expectations. It's one of those things where you kind of just got to let it be like a hobby. Don't really have any big expectations to like go viral or have all these people watching you, and just kind of have fun with it. So
I think it's
I don't
always
know, in time.
it's demoralizing sometimes when you see it because, like, yeah, I don't know. I think when people start to stream, maybe they do it for themselves or they do it because they want to create that like fan base for themselves. So like when you see like, oh, only 1 or 2 people, it makes it harder to want to keep doing it. But I agree with you completely. You just got to get going.
Yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
go with it.
It's the grind. It's really what it is. 'Cause then-
Valkyrie is a streamer that I, watch and I'm not gonna say idolize, but maybe because she
I know, I've seen the posters.
she went from like working at GameStop to top tier, not celebrity, but like
Internet sensation.
like internet sensation kind of a deal, and it was a time span of like maybe I don't know, like a year or 2 that she's actually blown up. But she was streaming for like 5 years plus with like no audience, like nothing going on,
Yeah.
until Fortnite blew her up. I mean, not blew
Yeah.
her up, but because of
Because
the
she played like with
viralness
Myth and
of
stuff.
Fortnite, just kind of helped her bounce up a little. But now
Oh.
she like runs. She's
Owner of 100
co-owner of
Thieves.
100 Thieves, which is like a pretty big gaming organization. So it's kind of cool stuff. So
A lot
You know,
of
just
a lot
gotta
of the
keep going.
time, a lot of times too, I think is games people are less likely to play to or to be streaming at the time. So say if you do like Twitch or something like that, playing Fortnite, which there'll be like 1,000 other people streaming Fortnite. Why would they choose you over somebody else? You see what I'm saying? That
like
would be
because I'm
like you want to
goated.
do like something a
dog.
little like less that people are like more interested in. I
Like
don't know.
Deceive.
That's just like
It seems fresh right now.
yeah. That's just I don't know my thing. If you're playing a game that everybody else is streaming, guess what? If you want a little bit more viewers or somebody to watch,
No.
they'll be less likely to do that. So if you find a game that's a little different, you can kind of go from there.
You're on
too.
point with getting the new games too. You always get like the newest game, and then people will always want to see that.
Yeah, even like
we
the
know.
launch
We
day
know
or
that he always
something.
gets the newest game.
Launch day stream or something that would be dope. I don't know. A lot of people do it, but
Well, it just comes down to like putting in the time, putting in the work, right? So, today's topic is going to be like the concept of working hard. So, would you say outside of like the gaming aspect, right? Would you say that you guys are hard workers?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
This motherfucker Jason's never home. He's always working, practicing.
Yeah. I've been spending a lot of time working on dancing and stuff. So it's been taking up a lot more of my free time, which is why I haven't been around as often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you say that you're a hard worker?
I think just knowing that I put in the extra time that's needed if you want to be successful at something, right? I mean, just like the same thing with the stream, right? You can't just like start and just expect like, oh, it's going to be amazing right off the bat. Like there's maybe a handful of cases in any workplace or field where like someone just comes out of nowhere and is just amazing at it, right? So you can't count on yourself being that anomaly amongst the population, right?
Right.
So you just got to put in the time, like for dancing specifically, like you just have to put in the time. I mean, no one just wakes up an amazing dancer. Like you could be naturally gifted
Right.
or naturally, athletic or whatever it is, but you still have to take the time to formulate your skills and your understanding on how that's going to progress you to be, for competitive dancing, for you to stand out more than other people. In my particular situation right now, I have a new partnership where in my last partnership we kind of had that feeling where we did one comp and we made a semifinal, and then from every comp after that we made the final every time, and which was amazing. But I actually never really felt like I put in that time and that work within that partnership to make that make sense to me. It felt great to have the success, but it also was, and it's not to say that we didn't work hard either, but it just kind of happened quickly. Like we hit the ground running, we were practicing like crazy, and we got good results. And there's always different things, different factors that go into that. But now I'm in a new partnership, and it's like starting from ground zero again. Not like, we're bad dancers or anything, but we have to put in the time on like how to connect with each other and what our goals are, what we want to look like. And it's actually a completely different set of preparation that I've done prepared to past partnerships. That's enjoyable, and regardless of what the results are, I'm actually enjoying the process of it more. So
Yeah, I think like that's the biggest mystery of working hard is enjoying the journey, because a lot of people always want to strive to like, this is the goal that I want to hit, but then they forget about like the road that gets them there, and then they appreciate the success a lot more. Well, what about you guys? I know Jared, you answered pretty quickly, but
I think I'm a hard worker.
Are you asking
Would
me?
you agree?
I agree. Of course.
every episode.
what do you think about my work ethic?
Hey, I'm a good worker, right? I work hard. I work hard.
So you think I work hard, right?
No one rotates symmetrically as quick as you.
Yeah, no one rotates quickly like Justin does,
He's always spinning.
He
We'll
doesn't
call
get
him turntable.
he doesn't even get dizzy anymore.
No, I mean, I feel like when I was
That's a skill.
working retail, I was putting in the work. I was there. I mean, there was definitely a time in my career where I was, I would say, overachieving, because they literally would have to kick me out of the store because I would clock in at open and I would stay all day and just make sure things are getting taken care of and things like that. On my
Did
own
you say
accord.
they had to kick you out?
Yeah, eventually.
It's too much overtime. Get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, hey, the fuck out of here now. But it was never really a big deal because they knew I was actually being productive versus staying clocked in and just sitting in the back on the computer doing the
I gotta
schedule or
organize
something.
these
You know what I mean?
hangers.
Like, yeah, like I gotta clean my desk out for 2 hours.
And nothing's cleaned.
So, definitely when I am in the workforce, I gotta do it. You clock in, get the work done, get paid. You're there for a job. Of course, you want to make it as fun as possible,
Yeah.
but still being professional and if you have a manager, make your manager happy. If you're the manager, make your team happy. Put in that work. Toxic trait of mine, though, is I do like to get to the end point and not have to worry about the journey, but whatever.
I thought you were about to say something uplifting real quick.
No uplifting. No. Just
think-
I've acknowledged it, though.
Yeah, it's important to acknowledge that part of yourself, so that way, when you get to a moment of frustration, you're like, you know what? I know what I'm thinking, and I know what it actually is going to take.
Mhm.
So you have to take that step back. So I can appreciate that, because who doesn't want immediate results? You know what I mean?
Dude, I would love to just be like, okay, cool. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Paycheck, please. Justin,
Thank you.
what about you, dog?
Definitely. My work sets me up to have to be completely productive. Working with patients for a set amount of time.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too much into that, but basically my day, they set up my productivity for the day and I have to accomplish it. So I have no choice but to be a hard worker during my days, because if I don't, then I do get in trouble. If I don't maintain a correct productivity, then it does.
What defines your productivity, though? As much as you can tell us.
So, quick way of saying it: 8-hour shift.
Mhm.
I have 7 hours and 7 hours and 30 minutes worth of patients per day.
Got it.
And working with those patients sets me up for a productivity of a certain number.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends on my patient load to how many hours I work.
Okay, I feel that. I wish a lot of jobs were kind of like that, because then what I do, it's very ambiguous on what success is defined as. Because then
Yeah.
because I asked my manager, I was like, during this experience that I'm in, was like, how do I know if I'm doing good? He's like, yeah, the people that you're working with will tell you. I'm like, I'm usually working by myself, just because I like do a lot of like data analysis. So the other day, like, I had to take images of these parts of this device, and then I took like 600 images, and then I didn't hear anything if it was good or bad. So I don't know. So
No news is good news.
I hope that's the case.
I mean, obviously, if there was no good picture, they would be like, "Ow, you suck. Get another picture."
I just want to hear something.
Any feedback's good feedback. Yeah.
Just like,
Can't you follow up on it?
yeah, but the engineers take a long time to respond, and the engineers I work with work in like 4 other different buildings. So I'm not gonna just drive around and like try to find them. Like, hey, you know those plethora of photos I took? What'd you think?
You know all those 600 pictures. Did you get a chance to look at all of them, or?
Yeah,
I looked at the first one, and that's all I needed.
you know that happened my first month on this job. Spent maybe like 5-6 hours doing imaging. And then after the first one I sent them, they're like, "Yeah, it's good." I was like, "Any other photos?" I only looked at the first 10. What?
Do you want to tell them that story that you told me?
Before you do they
Oh,
not?
the inventory
Yeah.
one?
Do they
Yeah,
not
yeah.
give you like, hey, we need this many pictures?
Yeah, they
or
say like we need this many.
they say
picture-
like 500, 600
well, like
pictures.
they'll say like these different like criterias, and that's what it
okay.
adds up to.
Got it.
Like after taking as much as I can give out without revealing anything, like the amount of images they'll like for say one specific sample, they'll need it like at different like zoom magnifications and all that, and then at the end of it, I'm like, oh wow, I took like almost 1,000 photos. I don't know if I can talk about. I'll see if I'll tell the story Justin wants me to tell. But there's this inventory thing that I have to do, which has like I have to find like 700 things or 600 things, and the hard part about it is that it's been the items have moved from like various buildings, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this, and then I'm asking my manager, I'm like, I have no clue where any of these things are. None of these things are tagged.
Because they only have the serial number.
Because they
right?
have the serial number, and it's such an ambiguous number. Like one serial number had like 30 characters. One other serial number had 3.
Yeah. But it's not like, computer, and then the serial number. He just has the serial number, right?
Yeah,
You're just
and
trying
a
to
brief
find them.
description of what it is, but it uses so many scientific names that I'm just like, okay, let's figure it out.
That's all we need you to find a pen.
You know, I think that's one of them. And then at the end of the day, I was talking to my manager about it, and they're like, how's it going? I was like, I think I'm making really good progress. He's like, how many did you find? 6.
Out of how many?
600. So far, we're on a good start.
Finished by the end of the year.
It has to be done by June. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, you did 6 in one day,
I think that was pretty good for how it is.
and then you have what, like from here to June? There's like 30 days. 6 times 30 is how much? 180. You need to work harder. Right?
You need to increase your productivity, bro.
I was just like, is this math good to math? Okay,
So
but
are you a hard worker?
I think I am.
If that was my productivity, I'd be fired.
Well, I think it depends too, right? Are you a hard worker, and is the work hard?
The work is hard.
Yeah.
Or are
the
they
work is
setting you
hard,
up for
then.
failure?
Like to do what I'm doing, it's not hard, but the task at hand is hard. It's literally looking for a needle and a bunch of other needles.
They got you on $1 million scavenger hunt.
That's literally what it is.
They're like this. They're like, this is in this room. Find it.
I'm like,
now I
that's
gotta-
wrong. This room is empty.
Or
Al,
the
you
door
did
is
not
locked.
even find half of the things we were looking
I was
for.
like, you didn't find it. Do you ever feel that like you work harder than your manager?
I am the manager, so yes.
Well, there's a manager of you, right?
Yeah.
I just burst that bubble.
So do you work harder than? Do you feel you work harder than him? Then
No, I don't. But they have a different scenario, like a situation in life. You know what I mean?
But do you feel you work harder than him though?
No. With the information that I have, no.
I think this question really pertains to like retail employees, because I feel like if working in retail, like you're busting your ass, and all of a sudden you'll just look in the corner of your eye, and your manager's like, "Hey, did you go to lunch? Did you take? We have 3 people waiting, by the way," and you're like, "I'm helping 7 people."
And it also depends to what
Jared's like, God, this is
what
too real.
your what
That
like
was
your
me. Hey, did you go to lunch yet? Your stock assignment's not even done yet either, bro. Come on, we got like 5 people waiting for you to go
They're
lunch.
like they're putting shoes away and crying. Hey, is this bad time? Did you take your lunch yet? I'm trying, Sharon.
Let's try harder because people are waiting. They're hungry.
You told me to finish this task by June. I've done 6.
I think it's also like the measurement of what you think is working hard, right?
Yeah.
Like physically, I work hard every day. Dancing is fun, but it's also like physical work every day.
But I'm tired.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm tired. And there's also more of like the like mental focus aspect of it. It's like maybe you're not physically working hard throughout the day, but you have to like be kind of like mentally primed to whatever it is that you need to do. So I feel like physically I work hard every day. Maybe mentally there's a point where you get to when you've done something for so long, you're like, that part of it gets pretty easy because you've already like trained your brain and your mindset to just kind of do those things, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
I'll tell you next time.
Let me think about this
Stay
more.
tuned for the next episode of Dragon
It's
Ball
just
Z.
it's just a POV of Jace going to his manager. Hey, I think I work fucking harder than you. Prove it. Dance off right now.
Dance off. Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
Like in a Zoolander.
They're
The
breakdance
breakdance
fighting.
fighting. The Hansel's so hot right now.
He does the same look every time.
I can derelict my own balls. Thank you very much.
Is this a center for ants? How are they gonna fit?
It needs to be like 3 times this size.
How do you expect kids to learn how to read and write and stuff if they can't even fit in the building?
It's just us doing a full script read of the movie.
Hey, that would be actually really funny.
I gotta
Stay tuned.
Yeah, what's I have the black lung, Papa.
Black lung.
Merman.
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 Water is the essence of being wet. Wetness is the essence of water.
The files are in the computer?
Fucking monkey.
It's a good movie.
Jared?
Yes.
I thought you were asking for his next Zoolander line.
So what is your next Zoolander line?
Wait, put that in the notes. We might do that. A script read for Zoolander.
Okay.
It's just a whole hour of us.
Just reading.
Kill the Prime Minister.
Of Malaysia! And then we'll have Jace do the full thing. Rah! 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 Rah!
Yes, I will learn the choreography if we do that.
Jared?
I want that trash bag outfit that they be wearing.
That's back. That's back in trend.
Is it back in trend?
Yeah, I think Kanye brought it back.
Who?
Oh, was that offensive?
No, I'm kidding.
Felt like that was offensive.
Hardworking. Is that what we're at right now?
Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so
I think as an employee, there was a time where I was definitely putting in more work than the manager. And it was to the point where the team was like, "Are you gonna be the next manager?" Yeah, I should be, because goddamn, where the fuck is? We'll just call him Peter.
Redacted.
you said Peter.
Yes.
Peppers.
But you know, it's a good and a bad thing. You know, when you've got an employee kind of outshining a manager, it's good for the employee, especially when they have the correct sources to reach out to or that are overwatching to kind of help bump them up and be like, hey,
Yeah.
are you ready for that next step? I really see that you're taking this charge. So I've definitely seen it. I've been that employee. I've seen that employee. I haven't been that manager though, so watch out.
So, okay, now a question. Since you have,
Oh shit. Okay, I was that manager. Okay, I get it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Don't you dare disrespect the truth box.
The box knows all.
okay, so going off of what you said, you've been the employee and you've been the manager, right?
So he's been the employee manager.
So would you say
Sorry,
that what job did you work harder on? Your personal opinion, like
I think an employee.
Okay.
I think as an employee, I worked way harder than I did as a manager, and that was just to show that I was ready for that next step. And I got there.
I was ready.
Okay, guys.
I was ready to just chill.
Let's go back real quick. I was great as a manager, okay? But there was eventually a time where that gleam or that sparkle in the tiger's eye kind of went away just from exhaustion and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's normal. It happens. But you bounce back, and I'm still bouncing back. So it's not a big problem that I see right now unless I'm still unemployed in the next 2 months. Then there would be another problem. But it is what it is. I hope that answered.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to say employees work harder than managers. Completely different aspect, right? But the one thing that sometimes I do think is that the managers forget what it is to be an employee.
Yeah.
Is,
Some people get management to be acting brand new.
Well, I mean, it's not like different, but it's like you're always on, like you'll be on your employee's ass, right? And then sometimes it's like, hey, like for me, it's like, hey, I'm sorry my day didn't go perfect like you want me to. I want you to be a little bit understanding on what happened.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm sorry my productivity was 2 points lower than what you wanted. I want my manager to feel like, okay, it does happen. It's okay. Days don't go perfect, but let's try to work on it tomorrow and then go from there.
Yeah, if only they were
Instead
like
of just,
curious
like,
and shit.
Fix that. Why are you 2 points lower?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. Like, you need to be at that point. You need to maintain this every single day. I'm like, I'm sorry my day wasn't perfect. I tried my best. But when you give me 10 patients,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't get 10 patients in an order to work with all correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't find all
I'm
600
sorry.
items.
But then
today.
it's just like in my head, I'm just like, sometimes like, man, do you kind of forget how it is to just run patients all day?
Yeah.
Like it's very stressful on my end to get 10 people lined up correctly in a full day. It's just very stressful. And sometimes like upper employment and all of them, it's just I feel they forget what it's like to do that when they only do say like 2 to 3 patients.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Because all they
man.
see is numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's all they look at.
Unfortunately.
They look at your documentation. They see the numbers. You're 2 points lower. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I saw you had like 5 minutes available. You could have fit 3 more patients in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But like,
so-
it's all about just being curious about your employees, right? And like, not always saying like not always just calling them out like what they're doing wrong, because then that fucking sucks. Because I hated that.
Yeah.
Like, I hear nothing positive. Why would I want to even speak with you? But really, just saying like, what can I improve on?
Yeah.
That sounds a lot better than saying what you're doing wrong.
So I was gonna ask as like just a follow up on this here in this topic, like from the employment level to the management level, like if you're an employee, like what is it that your manager does to like gain your buy-in to what you're doing?
I think when they show that they care, right? Like they give you realistic goals and they're a part of that initiative, right? Like they're not just saying, "Hey, like sell $20,000 by next week." Whereas like they kind of give you some type of a game plan and they allow me to be creative on how I get to that goal. And they're a part of it, just because it sucks like someone just barking orders at you, and it makes you This is what to managers out there. This is how you guys lose that really good employee.
I awoken
that
the
just,
beast.
That just this is what these managers will do to like ruin good employees. Is that they're like, I know this employee does really great work. I'm just gonna keep asking more and more and more, and not take partnership. And then that employee gets burnt out, and they see like, okay, my manager's only talking to me when shit's going wrong. Why would I want that attention anymore? So that's when these long-term employees start to fade into the back, and then all of a sudden you're like, why does everybody suck? Because they lost. Because now that employee doesn't care. Because you have to show that you care. Because at the end of the day, the employee is not the one who's making the amount that you're making, and we're not fucking running the company.
You start turning the employee, like turning their mind state around, right? It's
It's a curse of competency.
If you keep asking them to do more, right, then they also see somebody who's working less, but you're asking more from them. Why is that? Why is that acceptable? Just because you know this person works harder, so you're going to ask more from them? It's like you're turning your employees on you, right? If you keep barking orders only, like my boss, she reminded us. I'm not going to say for what, but she reminded us for a week straight about this thing. It's like you're starting to turn your employees around. Like, we know what we need to do. We don't need to be told every single day, multiple times a day. We know what we need to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
also bad parenting.
yeah, but it's just like, I'm sorry, this day did not go perfect. It happens, right?
Yeah.
But then you're still like, you need to do this. I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah, I think
I'm sorry.
the quality that I like that managers do is like when I'm struggling or if I'm not doing anything, if my numbers are going down, like that they ask, like, okay, what can I do to help? Instead of just saying, Joji. Hey, Joj.
Look who it is.
Are you saying that or... Really? Because he's going towards the door. Why are you trapping him in here? It's hot.
It's making his way to you.
Trying
There,
to.
so.
At least he's being cautious of all the lines.
Says he misses me, walks right past me.
Camera down.
It wasn't because of bricks.
It wasn't because Briggs is making out with him.
No, he was really barking by the door.
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay. Yep, there goes the cable. There goes the cable. There goes the cable. Stop it. Stop it.
Whoa, dog. Just relax.
You're doing this to yourself.
You're to blame for your actions. So I tell Bricks all the time. You're to blame for your own actions, not me.
Just relax, doggy.
What do you got to say? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's done.
He's like, I'm done.
He's done.
I've had enough of that.
There you go.
I just wanted to make sure he was alive.
Get that out. of
Just
the
needed to
system.
check. But yeah, that was good talk. Anything
Yeah.
else to add on that?
I think also like from the perspective like the employees, I don't always compare like my job towards my manager's job just because I know like the amount on my plate is very different than what's on their plate. Like I'm only in charge of like helping the customer that's in front of me. They may be in charge of all the hundreds of employees that are here and have to be able to speak to those numbers. So I understand how a manager can get like that, but I think it's just always realizing that it's a two-way street. And if you see that you have a very engaged employee, to foster that and see how they can spread that knowledge out so that they feel empowered to be like, okay, cool, this is something that helps not just my workflow, but if it helps everyone else's workflow, then we can work hard and play hard at the same time. Because like at the end of the day, no one wants the job to be hard. Like no one goes into work and say, I can't wait for this job to be extremely difficult. Yeah, that's all I got.
I feel like there are some people though who appreciate the challenge, right? Which
Yeah.
I think is different.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think a job being challenging and versus a job being difficult,
Yeah.
two totally different.
I think that is two different things. Because there are people who are very motivated by like, I don't want to have something that I can just walk through and it's no problem.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be able to be like, I want to be able to push my potential and push my limit to see what is like what I can accomplish. I'm not always that way.
Yeah.
But there are times where I'm like, I kind of need something to kind of get me going a little bit more, because it's easy to get into the daily grind of just like, I know what I'm going to walk into every day when I go into work.
Yeah, being able to expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that. I don't know what is to be said, but
Yeah.
maybe there is
But
something
there
to
is
be
something
said.
to be
There's
said.
something to be said about it.
Yeah. Also, just because numbers aren't being made by that person doesn't mean that the person isn't actually working hard either.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's just, again, everything is looked at by numbers. If you're not getting credit card sales like from where you used to work or certain sales, doesn't mean the person's not working hard. It could just be the people that he saw didn't want one or anything like
Which
that.
is like, okay.
or
for-
already had
which is
one.
a very
or-
valid point, because like there's people that don't want to buy like a $70,000 item, and like I shouldn't be I shouldn't feel bad if that person didn't want to buy it, because that's a lot of money.
Like, it could be that every single time the person tried to sell his ass off to these people and they just didn't want it. And it does happen, but on the numbers wise, it could be the only person that didn't sell 2 credit cards or memberships or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you could be like, dude, I tried. I was with these people for 15 minutes trying to sell, but then the numbers don't show. So people do work their ass off just because numbers don't show for it. So always kind of understand and remember what it is to be an employee, and that will help you become a better manager or whatever, employee or whatever.
Yeah.
So
But I think also on the other side of that, right? I mean, when you own a business, like that is really your only marker of like if things are going well for
Yeah.
you,
Absolutely.
right?
You're
So it's
absolutely
like
right.
there's that
absolutely
black and
right.
white aspect of it where, you know, from a management or even like ownership standpoint, you have to look and see like, okay, maybe this person is working hard and they're really putting their efforts toward it, but there's a lack of versatility of approach or, you know, lack of information or whatever it might be, lack of training. Ultimately, I think good management takes that upon themselves to be like, hey, I know this person's working hard. If you do know that person,
Right.
and like, what can I do to actually help them to get to a place where I can see them performing at the level that I want to see them doing that at? So I think there has to be some sort of crossover between the two, which, you know, in a lot of workplaces there probably isn't, you know,
Yeah.
which is probably more average than we'd like it to be.
Yeah, there was this interview that I saw where like it's talking about like this generation is very like difficult to work with and stuff, and like one person who's like advocate for the generation was asking like they expect, or like say if I'm that manager or that business owner, like we expect them to work as hard as we do, but then why would I expect an employee of mine to work like a CEO where they don't benefit from they don't get equity in the company, they don't get any ownership of it, I cut them a check for doing a lot of the legwork. So I think it's really like, to your point, like asking questions on what's going on, because at the end of the day, like it comes down to communication. Like if you keep just belittling and like getting upset, like you should be hitting these numbers, where you and yourself can't potentially produce those same numbers. So it's really asking like what's going on and how do we change our approach to make it more profitable and make for a better work culture, so that one, people aren't dreading to come to work. People are actually coming here and enjoying their job. And again, I'm not saying like, yeah, let's add more ping pong tables or like bean bags to make sure everyone's having fun.
Which I don't think ever adds to productivity.
Yeah.
Probably.
And yeah, that's all I had. Like again, like it's just all about asking questions. Anything else on this topic?
No,
Okay,
not really.
So Jared mentioned working like from fucking open to close. Was that by choice?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys ever get that? I'm pretty sure we all had that moment where like your manager's like, hey, we're kind of swamped. Do you think you can stay longer? Do you feel like there's always a consequence on saying no? Or do you feel obligated to say yes?
As a manager, I always made it clear that the employee, whoever I'm talking to, you do not have to say yes. There is no repercussion. There's no consequence for not being able to. But if you can, it definitely helps out. You can see the team is struggling, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be some employees that are
You're
like,
the-
oh, yeah, sure.
You're the only person that I haven't asked yet. I need somebody to say,
sound so defeated.
don't feel obligated
Well,
to say yes, but do you
There
want to stay
were-
overtime?
There were certain employees where I wouldn't even waste my
Breath on
breath
asking.
on even asking, because I know, like, they work, great workers when they're there, but they will not stay any longer. They're like,
Like, I gotta go.
5 o'clock, gotta go. I mean, not like, like, oh shit, 5 o'clock, customer in front of them, peace. Like, no, they'll finish
like, "You
what
got
they're
this, right?"
doing, but there was a few of them that I just knew not to even ask.
See, I was gonna say too, like as a manager, you kind of take note, like when you do your feeler out round, like you haven't asked around yet, you go, all right, well, this person, like, there is no repercussion, but from your mindset as a manager, you're like, all right, well, I see where you stand. You know what I mean?
You're
Like
going
that.
in this
Oh,
section of
You're
my
that
mind.
you're that kind of
You
guy.
know what I mean?
The same employees that would most likely say no to me, there will be times where they say yes in scenarios where, like, maybe they wanted to take an earlier lunch, or maybe they wanted to take lunch with a friend or something. I was like, yeah, sure,
a
go ahead, do
bargaining
your
chip.
thing,
Yeah.
So it's like, I allow you to do that as long as I scratch your back, you scratch mine too.
Funny thing
You-
about my
most
back.
times- Most times,
I scratch
it-
your back, you scratch my balls.
most times it worked out.
Why is
There
my
were
job
times
harder?
it didn't work. But I mean, I was also the employee. That
You
was
got that?
asked-
That just, but I mean, the head was great.
And that's why we have sexual harassment training.
sorry.
He's like, I'm totally going to use this joke.
But as an employee, like, knowing when the manager's coming around to ask, like, hey, can you stay longer? I'm like, fuck. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Hey, guys, I'm not going to be able to do the podcast, I have to say.
I won't be there. That's fine.
But I think that's something where like if you know the employees, or if you know your manager, like if you're creating more of a buy-in, like
Yeah.
bonding type of moment where, like, if you're the employee and you want more to do in that company, you're gonna say yes to those opportunities. I feel like that would be an expectation.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if you know that person is that way, or if you know that you're that way, right? And the vice versa. Like, if you know that the employee's willing to do that, that they're willing to do more, or they're looking for more. And also the idea of just having the conversation of, like, what needs to be done and what their goals are, I think that is super important, right? If an employee tells me, hey, I have aspirations to be a manager someday, well, let's talk about some of the things that we can do.
Yeah, but throw more stuff at you.
to show that you can get ready for that. So I think there's a lot within that.
The
probably.
funny thing about my back is that it's located on my cock.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
What movie is that from?
That's
Superbad.
super bad. Yeah.
Super bad rating also?
Who the fuck likes tiramisu?
Because that is a stupid fucking name.
She wants my dick all in
Wants
and
my
around her
dick?
mouth.
In and around her mouth. What
I
was the
swear,
question
there's going to be an episode where we're just doing nothing but reference bits.
I'd be
And I'm
down
for
for
it.
that.
I'm for it.
I'm for it. What was the question again? Overtime?
Yeah, like if bless you. If a manager asks you to stay long, do you feel like there's repercussions on saying no, or do you feel obligated to say yes?
Definitely do feel like there's repercussions. It's one of those things where, oh yeah, there are no repercussions, but there is. There's
Yeah.
always that. All right, I guess, but I would always feel obligated to have to stay. Also, I feel it depends on the timing and when you ask the person.
Yeah.
Like if you ask the
I'm
person,
just about to get off.
yeah, like no, I mean
I feel
sometimes
that.
that
Yeah.
does work. But if you ask the person at the beginning of their shift, say, hey, the closer already called out. can you stay
You're like,
till
"We just
closing?"
opened.
Yeah, we just opened, and now in their head they're like, "Fuck, now I have to stay 12 full hours or do a double 16 hours or whatever." That's more like, oh fuck. But if you maybe ask them at the end of their shift, like, hey, can you stay an hour extra? It can really help us out or something. Like
You see, as
me, I'd be like, all right, sure, whatever. An hour, like, not a huge fucking deal, depending on like what I have. But
as an employee, I would want to know as soon as
the
possible.
beginning,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would want to know,
'Cause
like, hey, I need
mentally
to,
preparing
yeah.
myself to be here all day versus I know I'm out at 5 and then Justin approaches me at 4:50 like, hey, we need you for another hour. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's,
I'm
that's,
already checking
that's
out.
where I'm
in
at.
my
Sometimes,
head, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, double time, just an extra hour, whatever. Like, not a huge deal.
Yeah.
One thing
It's
that
situational.
I always do is like if someone's gonna ask me, I'm like, hey, how bad is it? Am I the first person you asked? And do I get extra pay? Because like where I work in Emeryville,
If you say no to 2 of those, I'm not doing it.
The answer is no.
no, because like in some where I work in Emeryville, there's a law that like that only happens in Emeryville, where like if I have to stay 15 minutes past my shift, I get paid like another full hour. So I'm just like, how long do I have to stay? Is it 15 minutes? And how bad is it? Because like sometimes I feel bad for like my teammates. I'm like, fuck, there's only one person helping customers. I know how that is.
It's that meme of just like you're walking out, everything's on fire behind you.
And then you're just like,
This is fine. This is fine.
see ya.
yeah, but I think it comes down to like, one, don't ask like minutes before my shift's over. And like, if you tell me like a story with it too, like, hey, like this happened, like we're going to keep calling people. If they can't come in, can I count on you? I'm like, I'd be more inclined.
You know, it's
Give
gonna
me
cannot
a
count on
reason
me.
and a benefit for me staying,
You know, it's a
and
good
I will
time to
highly
ask.
consider it.
Right when they're going to lunch. You want to stay a little longer? How about you take an extra hour of lunch? Come back.
No, you're losing out
Take
money.
Care. We'll take care.
I'm like,
Who
when
is?
I work
Who's
at,
missing out on money?
if I take another
Not the company.
another hour, then I'm just breaking even. Like if they say they'll give me a coffee or a bag of chips, I'm like, all right.
I think it's just better because for
I think that's
me,
solid.
That's all you need.
for
I
me
think
when I'm
that's
going
solid.
to lunch, I'm like, okay, I'm resting. I'm like, oh, you're gonna give me a whole extra hour of lunch, and then I get to come back, and then you're gonna pay me more just to do my job again for extra hours. Fuck it.
Al, I got this bag of chips
Go
for you. You
stuff-
want to
go
stay
smoke
longer?
or something? You know what I mean? Like,
Are they salt and vinegar chips?
They're dill pickle.
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. When-
Oh,
I'll eat half the bag now. I'll eat it while I'm helping customers.
I'm gonna finish this bag and then I'll give you the answer.
They were delicious. No, I can't stay.
I still can't stay, but thanks.
What are some things in your current job or previous job that you discovered?
Previous job, single you out.
Okay, Jared,
Damn.
what is your current job? No, what has surprised you the most about your current job?
Jared, you can start with this.
What has surprised you about your previous job?
Jared's all, well, management's great.
Work is great now, man.
Benefits could use a little more
Good,
improvement.
good benefits.
yeah, definitely.
I go a lot
I
of
could definitely
vacation
do with more
pay.
benefits. I was trying to go see a
Um,
dentist. They wouldn't take me, and I got no health insurance.
I was trying to see a dentist. For some reason, it was $3,000. They said it'd be easier with insurance. I was like, "What's that?"
It's good though because me and the boss get along. You
Yeah.
know,
Great guy, great
always
guy.
on the same schedule.
Sometimes when I see him crying, I'm crying. It's crazy.
It's weird. You know, when he's sad, I'm sad. He's happy, I'm happy. I get up when I want to get up.
Sounds
Clock
great.
out when I want to clock out.
Sounds like
you
a
know?
great
It
job.
truly is a team effort
Money's
where I work.
short.
Yeah.
You know, there's not much money in this, but you know.
There's nobody in this. I want to know where some of this money's coming
I
from,
could do with a pay raise, maybe. yeah.
You know, I keep asking for
or
that
just
raise.
pay in general.
I keep asking for a raise, and they're like, "But what do you do?"
I ask you. I just keep asking myself, what do you do?
And then you tell them, I'm a really hard worker.
And then I'm like, damn, the manager does work harder than me.
And then I ask, "Yeah, can I stay late? Wait, or do I
He's
want to
always,
stay
he's
late?
always asking me to stay later. I'm like, fuck, all right.
I don't even know if I'm doing work."
Yeah. And then I ask him.
He's a good-looking guy, though. That manager.
There you go.
Then he buys me a bag of
God damn.
chips.
Dill pickle lace chips.
I really think those chips would. Again, I don't know how they taste, but if they were like the kettle cooked, a little more crunch. I feel like classic Lay's chips, they just melt so fast.
I don't really like Lay's chips.
Like that brand.
Yeah.
Okay, what had surprised me in my previous
Oh, you didn't want to talk about chips?
how demanding customers can really be. I think that
Yeah.
was a shocker when I first started.
Chip trap.
I offered them
Oh, yeah, I'll write that
pickles, and they wanted the chips. And
I like how you try to recuperate the reference. Like, would you say like demanding or entitled?
both?
Both of them.
Both of them things.
Damn. Two for one.
It's just funny to me how demanding someone can really be with the service that they want. And I get it. You know, it's a customer service role, but we're humans too. All right. You know.
Yeah, people forget that.
There's a story when I was working at Stone Ridge. I had an employee who, the employee was walking towards the stockroom, and the customer kind of like,
I fucking hate that.
That
Don't
would-
you ever fucking
that would-
snap at me.
That's terrible.
I'm there, and I see my employee, and I can see the rage going through him. I was like, Brandon, just go to the back. Just go to the back real quick, talk to the customer, and figure out what they need. So I went to go talk, because I was a manager at the time. I had to go talk to the customer, and they just wanted their shoes, but you know, they're just like real snappy about it. And I had to tell Brandon, and I was like, look, I get it. You know, no one should be called over like that, like a dog or something. You know, unfortunately, we're in customer service. You're gonna have to bite the bullet and go help these customers. I can take over if you want, but you know, I think you should just really finish it off. Just get it over with, get it done with.
I'd be so mad if I was that employee.
No, I was. He did a great job. He did an amazing job. He took care of the customers, got them out of there. But you know, it was like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
I've had that
Nerve.
situation
People are crazy.
one
Nerve.
time, and then I snapped back at them, and then I was like, "It's annoying, right?" So what did you need? It's like I think people forget, like you said, like we're people, right? Like you wouldn't want me snapping my fingers for you to get your attention. I would be way finer if they said, "Hey yo, hey." I'd be totally fine with that instead of just like.
A funnier story with this kid Brandon. He was helping this couple out. No. He was helping this couple out, and it was a fresh box of shoes. So the rubber band was still on there. So he takes the rubber band off the shoes, and he's like playing with it with his hands. And he stretched it. It snapped and smacked the lady right in her face. And I'm there. I'm literally like behind the couch. I saw the whole thing. Fortunately for me, the employee and the customers were super cool. Like they weren't mad at all.
They're like,
No one was upset. Everyone understood it was an accident and things happen and stuff. But like my face and the employee's face, it was quick. Like the rubber band snapped, it hit her, and I was like, oh shit. Because now I'm preparing of how I'm going to de-escalate the situation here. But fortunately for me, the customers were super cool about it. But it was hilarious because even Brandon, like, you know,
Do you want to say that in the
he was,
mic?
like beat red. Oh. So yeah, he was like, sorry.
Sounds like Jared's in the other room.
Yeah, he was embarrassed, and I was embarrassed too. But it was a funny little moment that we had there with
That's
the
good.
customers.
There's hope.
They're always great. There are amazing customers out there, but it just sucks because the bad ones usually stick out the most.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be
lives.
like an extra tax on those types of customers. Like it says service charge. I'm like, what's the service charge? Oh, because you were an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen at that company.
I think if I ever have a company, it's gonna be a button. So you can
Ejectocito, cuz. Bitch out of here.
Fast and the Furious reading.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one.
So there's another one. There's another one coming. Another Fast and Furious movie.
Jason
now it's with
Momoa
Jason
back.
Momoa.
Back for revenge because he was in an older movie. I didn't even know.
I don't know.
I didn't even know.
Which movie? Which one?
I honestly stopped watching after Paul Walker.
I didn't see 9. I think I saw up to 8, but I haven't seen 9.
There's that many?
Yeah.
So 9 was like 2 years ago. This one's 10. I think they're doing one more, and then that's gonna be done.
They just need to.
They got to race underwater now.
In Atlantis.
And it's not even submarines. They're like Honda Civics. They're like, with propellers.
I saw the trailer. I was like, I can't anymore.
Featuring Jackie Chan.
Well,
Jackie
you know
Chan.
what?
If Jackie Chan was the
Jackie
villain,
Chan's in it.
I don't want trouble.
villain?
I don't want trouble. I don't want trouble.
I would probably watch anything with Jackie Chan in it.
Yeah, I love Jackie Chan.
What was the initial question?
What is? I can just look. What has surprised you the most about your current job?
I teach dance, but I never realized how emotional things can get in a dance environment. I mean, like, dance can be emotional, but I mean, like, just like servicing students and teaching them, like, I've really learned a lot about life more than I ever have working with the people that I work with.
Yeah.
Like, I teach them dance, but my students teach me something every day, and that is something that I was like, oh, I'm a teacher, and I'll get to teach people
like
dance. Like,
this.
yeah, that was gonna be cool, the cool thing. But I think the coolest thing was that dance really makes a difference for a lot of people emotionally and mentally, and obviously physically there's benefits to that. But I was really surprised by that, and I think that's why I've been doing it for so long.
I'm with that. I like that. Yeah. What about you, Justin?
I was trying to come up with something, but I think it's a lot of what I said earlier. In the beginning, it was just trying to figure out stuff. Lack of help, even though when I got the job, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll help you." There wasn't as much help as there should have been, but it doesn't surprise me when I was right on my ball.
It was a package.
Yeah, it was just a package.
Thank you.
Yeah, the lack of help. They wanted, it's like, you need people. We don't have time to train you. Throw you into the fire. Kind of sucked, but we made it out alive. But lately, it's been more of just forgetting what it is to be an employee. And that's what I've been thinking about lately. It's just like all the demandings, and it's just like, you have to maintain this. And I'm just like, when was the last time you had a full day?
Right.
I mean, I know managers deal with other stuff like behind the scenes, insurance, like all that stuff. That's fine. But like, it's just they keep on upping your times. And then when something doesn't go as planned,
It's your fault.
it's my fault.
Yeah.
When it's really not. It's the patients, it's the other people working in the facility. It's literally not my fault.
Yeah.
But
There's more gears in this machine than you.
correct. So it's just, yeah, forgetting what it is to be an employee.
Yeah.
But we all make it out alive each day. So we move
hope.
on. Everything's,
No, murdering each other?
yeah, sometimes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't.
We never do that. We always brighten up everybody's day
Yeah.
when you work
Just
with
fucking
me.
walk. Just
When you
fucking
work
walk.
with me, we have a great time, and I make sure of that.
That's
So I do my best.
That's all you can do. I think one thing that I've learned from my job is that there's a lot of adults who don't want to act like adults, but
Word.
want to have the title as an adult.
I was raising my hand like that's me, but
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't agreeing with you.
Oh.
That was just me.
Well, the high five's nice too, though.
I'll always take one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, now Jared took the high five.
No one wants to be an adult, right?
Shit's overrated. being,
Am I the only one? Am I the only one?
being an adult got us this garage.
I think they just don't want the
That's true.
responsibility of being an
So
adult.
it works out a
That's
little
true.
bit.
No, there's benefits to it. I just like I like a lot of like movies and TV shows about like, I don't know, like high school or like college or middle school. I don't know. I just think there's an innocence there where like you'll never get that back, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I
Once
feel
you've
for
seen the
that.
dark side, you can't go back.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I've always.
Would you?
That's how
Okay,
I
if you
felt
could
about
go
that.
back to one of those times, would you? No, not would you. Which time would you go back to? High school, college, or elementary?
I'd go back and graduate high school.
Oh, sorry. Is that
Thanks.
Knowing what I know now,
Thanks for bringing this up again, Al. All right.
It was not. It was not a slight
God
towards you.
unemployed.
Damn it.
Didn't
I'm
graduate.
I suck at lying.
Shit.
Fuck, man. Keep
Now
reminding
you're just
me.
now you're just
Why
saying what
am I
you're
even
thinking.
here?
Wait, no, come back.
Why am I here?
He's probably going to go look for a job.
Damn.
I couldn't resist.
Damn.
It was an amazing time with these three amazing gentlemen here, but I'll be taking my leave.
I'll take my leave of
There he goes,
absence.
quitting again.
I am
God damn it.
I'm quitting.
I'm out this bitch.
I would go back as early as I can and start dancing.
Okay.
I would have started dancing much. If I knew that I would have loved it this much, I would have started dancing much earlier, I think.
Nice. What about you guys? Or Justin?
The one thing that stands out for me is the time frame that it took from me, what is it, ending East Bay to
Mhm.
finally getting into the program that I got into. It was like a almost 5 year span. So taking that time off from like 2 to 3 years and then starting to apply for the program that I wanted, that was just 2 to 3 years of just like fully wasted time, because you're not even, it's not like you apply to this program and then get in. Like, it's a
You have to
lottery system. You have to get picked, and when you don't get picked, you're like, fuck, I should have done this like 3 years ago, and then I could have gotten in sooner or whatever. So
Yeah.
then it was just time wasted, and then you get everything set, and then you apply for the program, you don't get in, you finally get in, and then that's what, 5 to 6 years right there, and you're like, fuck. So
Did you have to interview for that, or you just have your resume or whatever?
So you have to fill out all the paperwork and stuff, but there's a class that they make you have to take. It's like PT like 101 or something. But you passing that class, you doing your clinical, they make you do like 15 hours inpatient, 15 hours outpatient. But that class itself is like your interview.
Okay.
So the teacher there helps pick out the students of like, well, this is what they don't say it, but this is what it kind of is. So they pick the people they think are going to succeed
Got it.
or
They're already
hire to
assessing you.
succeed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all graduation stuff. I mean, passing the boards. How likely are you to succeed in this field?
Got it.
Is how I think it is. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of time wasted. And I wish I would have known a lot more college-wise. Just like the politics of college, not like studying and like learning and stuff, just the politics of college that nobody teaches you, where you're like, oh, fuck. Apparently I'm last on the sign-up list. All 3 of the classes that I wanted are taken. So what am I
Now-
supposed to take
Now
now?
I gotta wait. Now I gotta take
Yeah, so-
some elective.
Yeah, now I have to take a fucking world history class that I don't give a shit about, but it's part of like what I need to take. So, yeah.
I really
lot
don't know
of all
why
that
they have
stuff.
us do world history all the time, because I don't ever reference it.
So I think they tell you that history like repeats itself in like ways.
Well, then why do I have to learn it if it's just going to happen again?
So you can be ready for the next time.
I'm not in charge of those decisions. I'm not in charge of making World War III.
But you can be a part of the solution.
I can be part of World War III.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if you
Yeah.
increased your productivity on that inventory
Yeah.
stuff,
Honestly,
it
you
would
got a lot of
prevent
work
World
to
War
do.
so
III.
that's going to start World War III.
yeah. If you can do more than 6
Watch,
a day,
I'm in the history books. If Alexander only found one asset more,
each
this would
day,
have this would have been
it would have
prevented.
prevented all
The
of this.
uranium bombs would have not been created.
Never
You
know.
know, that's what that pen was for.
Fuck.
Yeah. But it wasn't accounted for, so
Now we'll never know.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here first. If World War III happens, because I'm not productive in inventory.
Well, you have 30 days, so
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I have a good amount of time.
You can save the world.
That's how I got to approach each day.
yeah.
I can save the world if I do
That's
more
your
than
new
6.
motivation.
I'm just standing there with my clipboard. I can do this. Theme song play.
I can't do this.
I can't do it. I'm just in fetal positions. I can't do it. can't do there's too many things.
Alexander, what are you doing? I can't do this. I can't save
Freaking
it.
out.
I can't.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Okay, the last question in the concept of working hard. Do you believe in stooping down to other people's levels when you're working your ass off and your other coworkers are not?
Definitely.
Did you care to elaborate?
Definitely.
Very
I
fast.
mean, when you're new, you want to bust your ass, right? You want to show how much you can do. You want to be as productive as you can be. You want to show them that you like this job, blah, blah, blah. But once you start seeing somebody not working as hard as you, earning more money than you, I mean, you're not going to just like stop working, right?
Right.
It's like you're probably gonna do a little bit less, but it's another thing that's a little bit unfair, or they know what they can get away with because they have that reputation. When you have the I'm gonna do more reputation, right?
Right.
But it's maybe not every day, but like some days you'll be like, fuck, if he ain't gotta do it, why do I gotta do it?
I feel that.
Like it's hard. You see that in probably every place. So it's like I'm told at my work, like I stress out most of my day getting all these patients ready. Fucking crazy. It's so stressful, but once everything kind of starts flowing, you're like, all right, I'm good. But like getting everything set up is so stressful, and then the people there just say, do what you can. If your productivity isn't good, nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So
The work's still here tomorrow.
yeah, you'll get another 10 patients again tomorrow. Same thing will probably happen. Just do your best and learn. But
That's why we take world history. You didn't like that bit? Okay.
Okay.
I think it would
Damn.
depend on time. Depends on
History
time. for
does
me.
repeat itself.
it does repeat itself. That's what I'm thinking.
Like maybe the first year, seeing that employee that's not doing shit but still getting paid just like I am or whatever the case may be, I probably wouldn't care. But maybe after 2 years, still working with the same person, they're still getting the same shit, and I've been having to pick up all their stuff after them not doing it. Yeah, I probably would. Just stoop down. I'm like, all right, well, if they're not doing it, fuck it, I won't either. But that would be after some time. But I probably wouldn't be there after a year or two.
Yeah, but like another thing, it's like, say you start stooping down to that person's level, right? What if you're the one that gets pointed out that you're not doing it when the other person's not either, but you're stooping down? You see what I'm saying? You're stooping down to their level.
Yeah.
You get pointed out, oh, you're not doing this,
We'll
you're
go to
not
HR.
doing that. And then
We'll go to
this
HR.
person
We'll
is
go to-
doing the same exact thing.
I
and
would take
then-
it to HR.
yeah,
Most definitely.
it's just
I mean, if you're working at an establishment, then there's cameras and there's security, and if I'm being targeted, and I know, and there's other people that know that there's someone else doing it, fuck yeah, I'm going to HR. I ain't getting called out for this. But I don't have to worry about that because me and my team currently, we all get together and we all are
Current team.
okay with each other.
you guys have a whole bunch of meetings.
No fights.
Meetings every week.
Everyone's
right?
on time.
I would say I believe that it happens,
Close the door. Close the door.
but I don't believe in doing it. Like I know it happens for sure. Like either like you have people who pedal and you have people who coast, and I think it's healthy from time to time if you're pedaling hard that you want to coast for a little bit. But if you worked hard enough, I think you deserve the chance to coast. But there are just some people who get that one push and they're like, well, that'll
all I
be
need.
that'll be my pace. So I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't do it just because,
Other people do it.
yeah, I don't want to do, I always try not to, but then at the same time, I'm just like, fuck, why am I working so much harder? And like, I'm not getting that same opportunities as someone that's like not working as hard. So, because there are times where like I get passed up like in a promotion for someone that I know that one is not qualified and they haven't put the work in, but they just have like a better relationship. That's when I take it to HR. I'm like,
Or
yo, what the fuck
We're
is
at the
going
right
on?
place, right time.
Yeah, I hate that. But now I don't do that because I don't work with a lot of people. And everyone I work with is way smarter than
Yeah,
me.
you
So
just have to count now.
that's just one task, okay? There's other things I gotta do.
Like
Yeah.
take pictures.
Yeah. Of the
And them
stuff I
only
got-
look at one. Say it's great.
I love it. Should I just next project? Do I just take one picture? I'm like,
Just see what
See what happens. Yeah.
it's one picture just copied like 100 times.
Don't do
It'd
it.
be the one where they're like, so do you have any other? Do you have any
How
other
long,
shots?"
how long did this one picture take you to take?
I had to draw it myself.
It's pretty good, right?
Why don't you take
This
a
is
picture?
a stick figure.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
One picture, and then you just keep editing it so it looks different. So zoom it a little bit, maybe angle it here,
Just crop it.
crop it here.
Dang, Alexander, you had 6 hours to do this one photo.
It's
nice, right?
It's just frame it.
I did take a lot of photos, but this was my last photo that I took.
This is the one that's going to be the most memorable.
Yeah, this
It's
is the best
also
one.
the only one I have.
It was also taken on film. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
Zoolander reading next week.
I gotta find the script then.
That could be really funny.
Nice one. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on the Average Employee Podcast. I'm your host, Al,
I'm Jace.
I'm Jared.
I'm Justin.
and it's time to clock out because we've been working hard, and you should too,
Or not.
or not.
Whatever you
It's
want.
up to you.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yay!
I just heard for the first clap and it went.
Can't do that.
Okay, fine.
All right, ready?
Ah.
we were on.